Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, the golden voice of Neal Ruhl, and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Hey, yo, welcome back, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. This guy over there, that's Lindsey Hunter, a couple-time NBA champion, a guy that won a few less NBA championships. We have Sam Flannel in the house. We have Spencer Raxter in the house. But most importantly, we have all of you on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Happy to have you all in there. Get on in there. Get your thoughts in there. And we'll read some of them. The good ones, the bad ones, the dumb ones, the smart ones, all of it. We'll read all of them because, I'm lazy and like to let you guys program the show from time to time. But certainly some breaking news in the sports world. Tom Brady announced that he's retiring. He said, quote, for good this time. So he's being serious about it, I'm told. And look, I know you can be somebody like Sam Flannel that accuses him of being the luckiest player that's ever played in the NFL. But the bottom line, though, Lindsey, is this. When you run through those numbers, 7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 15-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, all of it. You guys know the numbers. A GOAT's walking away, man. And it does feel for real, doesn't it?
It does, man. I got sad watching him sit there with the little video. I was like, man.
You start crying?
I didn't cry. I was like, wow, it's really happening now. We're watching the end of an era of one of the greatest to ever do it.
No, and Neil Logan in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, I'll believe it when I see that he'll be back. And it just, I don't know what you guys felt. And Spenny, like, I talked about this coming down the stretch of the season. He looked different. And I know, like, numbers-wise, per se, like, numbers weren't that far off or anything like that. But I got the feeling, didn't it seem like he was kind of trudging through everything?
Yeah, it looked bad. And especially in that last, in that playoff game against Dallas, it looked bad. I mean, it's hard to play well against a defense like that creates so much pressure, but you could tell that it was starting to go a little bit. Maybe it was his offensive line not being healthy that didn't help at all, but it was time. It was time for him to hang it up. And respect to Tom Brady. He's one of my favorite players of all time, so it's sad to see him go, but it was time.
Look at Adam Baydoun making moves in the back on the cell phone, man. He's like Adam Schefter around here.
The cell phone and the laptop.
Yeah, absolutely. His other cell phone's in the pocket, too. He's probably getting texts from things like that. What about that, Lindsey? Everybody goes through that process. You went through that process. D-Mac went through that process. Everybody goes through that process. Can you take people through it? I mean, there are some universal truths. I'm not saying, hey, compare yourself to Tom Brady. No, I'm not saying that. But just because I am enamored with that, because that is one thing that's different for everybody. Like, how do you know when it's time to say, all right, we're done?
Oh, I can tell you exactly when I knew.
Okay.
I remember I was in Chicago and kind of mentoring Derrick Rose, and we were in practice one day. Vinny Del Negro was our coach. So, and I was kind of like a player's coach. So I would help, with different things. And we were on the sidelines, and somebody kept doing something. So Vinny yelled at everybody to get on the line. And I just remember I was walking toward the line, and my mind was going, I'm not about to run. I'm done. I'm never running again like this. So I turned and I looked at Vinny. I was like, I'm sorry, Vinny, but I can't do this. And he was like, oh, no, not you.
Uh-huh.
But at that moment, mentally, I was done.
It was over.
Yeah, I was burnt out. I was like, man, I can't do this anymore.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
But for some people, it's like that, right? I mean, for some people, they got to take some time and weigh the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
And then other times, it's just your body says when it's done, right?
Yes, your body and your mind, I just didn't want to do the
what was necessary to be at that level anymore.
Yeah, and when you're an athlete, you're used to being who you are, and you start changing. You start getting older. You can't run as fast. Can't do some of the things that you're accustomed to doing, and then you kind of feel like okay, I'm I had a great run, man, and that's it for me. And I know, especially as long as Tom played, oh my, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine playing that long, especially the sport as physical as football. And I know he's a quarterback, but yet and still, you still take hits.
No doubt.
You're never 100% during any sports season.
Well, and you're 58 minutes into a 60-minute game, and everything's on the line.
Absolutely.
With the football in your hand.
Absolutely.
Like, don't get it twisted.
Right.
You know,
right.
that is still the way that is. Sam Flannel, you're probably rejoicing today, right? As a Tom Brady hater and somebody who says he was, quote, the luckiest player in NFL history, unquote. Did I get anything wrong there?
No, he is the luckiest player in NFL history, and I'm not sad to see him go. I will say, and I've repeatedly said this, he is the greatest quarterback of all time because his accomplishments are just, they can't be matched right now. I mean, I think that a Patrick Mahomes could eventually catch him, but Tom Brady, I mean, his accomplishments speak for themselves. My point has always been that he's gotten quite a bit of help over the years and quite a bit of luck, and I've cited numerous examples, but when people talk about Brady, they just act like he's this consummate winner. He's just this leader, and it's all those 7 Super Bowls were just because Tom Brady was so great, and that's lunacy. Come on.
Flannel.
What?
Flannel. Listen, no player in the history of sports is ever going to say it was all them.
I know, but do you hear Tom Brady fans? They basically drink his bathwater, act like it was just because of him.
Sort of sounds like you with Mahomes.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what. At least Patrick Mahomes in his first 5 years has been the best quarterback in the NFL ever since he stepped foot in the league. Those first 3 Super Bowls by the New England Patriots, they were more Belichick in that defense than Brady. He wasn't.
Okay, and Sam, look, I'll entertain you, man. I will. And I'm not, I'm not nailing you to the cross here and like we're in the town square and we're going to put you down like William Wallace, all right? We're not doing all that right here. Yeah. We're not doing that to you, Sam Flannel. But here's the thing. Yes, and Bill Belichick was there. And yes, he did do, you went and got one without Bill Belichick. And I'm not going to spike the ball and say that shows you, Sam Flannel. I'm not saying that. The cast always changed. That the one constant through all of it was Tom Brady. And look, man, like I'm not a Brady fanboy, but you can't question the results. Like you absolutely cannot question the results.
No, I can't question the results of the team winning. That's more.
But who was the one constant through those 20 years?
And Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time for now.
So we're similar.
You said for now.
Yeah. I think Patrick Mahomes, especially if they win the Super Bowl this year, he's on that trajectory. He's the one person right now that could do it.
But even if he wins 2, he's, how you talk about the gap is between him and who else he was saying? The gap between him and Brady is so wide.
Yeah, I mean, he has to accomplish more.
He has a long way to go. And I don't know if he can cover enough ground to get there with, his body and injuries. We don't know that.
No, yeah. I mean, he does still have a long way to go, Patrick Mahomes.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think he has to at least win 3 Super Bowl MVPs before we can even start the conversation. But just how he started his career, I don't think he's going to slow down anytime soon. I could see him winning 2 or 3 or 4 more MVPs. It wouldn't shock anybody.
So then you admit there's a lot on the line next Sunday. There's a lot on the line.
Yeah, if the Chiefs lose this next Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes on the GOAT trajectory talk has to be tempered for now. Yeah. And I will even admit that.
Okay, that's fair. See, you're a reasonable and logical man. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. You guys are on one today. This is pretty good. Big E says Vontae Davis retired at halftime. Rack says retirement can't be that hard to decide on. AB did it in the middle of a game. Which he did. That
was legendary, but good exit.
It certainly was. Pete Smith. And I'll go to you for this one, Sam Flannel. Any word if Drew Henson is going to suit up for the Buccaneers now?
I mean, hey, if they need another Michigan quarterback.
Yeah, how can you be a Michigan fan and hate Tom Brady? I never understood that.
I've said it.
He liked Drew Henson more.
No.
He's the only one that's honest about it. They all like Drew Henson more.
Yeah.
No, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He was at Michigan, I think his last year was 1999. I was young. I look at Tom Brady as just that, and the Patriots especially, as that sort of evil empire that made football not very fun for me to watch in my formative years. And I was also a big Peyton Manning fan. I'll admit it. The Patriots and Tom Brady broke my heart so many times, more than any woman ever could.
Well, See, but if you were a Peyton Manning fan, you should be used to losing in the playoffs because he was a 500 quarterback in the playoffs throughout his career.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was pretty mid.
Peyton in the playoffs, yes, he was. But that's the thing. In 03 and 04, those Indianapolis Colts had some of the best offenses in NFL history. Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James. And the Patriots defense in 03 held them to 14 in the playoffs, and 04 held them to 3 for an average of 8.5 points allowed per game. And it was all because Brady is just this excellent leader. No, stop that. It was because of that Belichick defense. He had a lot of help.
Lindsey, when you win 7 championships, it's going to come from everywhere at some point, right?
You can look up every historical champion or every historical team that's won.
Dynasty, whatever.
Dynasties, yeah. Flannel, luck plays a part in it.
And Tom Brady's had more of it than any player in NFL history.
And that means he was better.
No.
Because most of the time you make your luck. Things happen because of certain things that you do. So I don't want to hear you talk about the luckiest quarterback ever. No, then I guess he can live with that because he's the greatest of all time also. So luck had to play a part in some of it, right?
I mean, was it his fault that he actually was Charles Woodson forced a fumble that was called the tuck rule? Was it Tom Brady that put a hex on Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson and told him not to give the ball to Marshawn Lynch at the 1 yard line?
Brandon Katz says, was it Tom Brady's fault? And I'm kind of ad-libbing this a little bit. Was it Tom Brady's fault that the defense gave up 600 yards to Nick Foles?
That was his one unlucky moment. Tom Brady played more than well enough to win that Super Bowl, and the defense let him down. I will admit that because I'm objective. That's the thing.
But you're blaming other outside forces that he benefited from. Like, that's lucky. No, nobody told them not to run the ball at the 1 yard line.
But that was
nobody told him to do that.
But that was a stupid play call. If they would have run the ball, Seahawks would have won the Super Bowl.
And, well, at that time, Beast Mode wasn't really doing short yardage really well, if you remember the case, right? He was not really good in short yardage situations. That's why they didn't give him the ball. Had nothing to do with he wanted the quarterback to be glory boy, but yet and still, I digress. Hey, I look at all the Super Bowls that Tom Brady won that he was the MVP of, and he was the main reason.
I don't know about always the main reason.
How many MVPs he got? 5?
5.
Okay, but he also won Super Bowl. In his first Super Bowl, he threw for 145 yards.
That was the first one, right? I'll admit.
And don't forget, too, about that incredible 38-yard drive in the fourth quarter to get a field. No, was he fortunate there? Certainly he was fortunate there. The defense helped him out. They played the Rams, for Christ's sake, like the greatest show on turf and all that kind of stuff.
Ty Law had a pick 6.
But when you win 7 championships, there's going to be every single part is going to contribute to some of them at somewhere along the line. But there's been one constant in all of them.
Well, and don't get me started about Kyle Shanahan for the Falcons in 2016. They had 1st and 10 at the Patriots 22 with 4+ minutes left. And they ended up punting on that drive, up 8, when a field goal would have sealed the game. It was a loss, I think a 2-yard loss run by Devontae Freeman. Matt Ryan got sacked, then a holding call, incomplete, and they punt. 1st and 10 for the Patriots, 22 with a chance to seal the game, and they end up punting on that drive. And that's because Brady's just got that great leadership, right?
Real quickly, I think people might have got out in front of their skis a little bit on this whole Kyle Shanahan thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a great play caller.
Yeah.
But everything you just said had nothing to do with Tom Brady.
I know, but why does he get credit for that? That's the thing.
He had to lead his team.
Well, the same reason he gets the blame for when he throws 545 yards in a Super Bowl and loses.
And I said, and I'm the biggest Tom Brady hater probably here, he does not deserve blame for that game. He played more than well enough to win. That was his one sort of unlucky moment. The Patriots defense let him down in that game. They did. I'll admit it. I don't just gloss over reality. That happened. But he's been lucky way more often than he's been unlucky. They owed him that. The NFL and the universe owed him that.
Spenny, what did you say before? I'm sorry, I missed you there.
What?
Okay, sorry about that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Everybody just keep it rolling. What do we have here? Don't just count his wins. How many Super Bowls did he play in? He played in 10 Super Bowls, as a matter of fact. Clomsaw says, luck is preparation meeting opportunity. That'd be a good T-shirt there, Clomsaw.
That is nice.
Yeah, you should make that a
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
That flannel?
You don't get credit for other teams screwing up. You don't get credit for the other team's defense, Patriots defense playing well.
You get credit when you capitalize on them screwing up.
Yeah, he capitalized a lot of times, but it wasn't he was given the opportunity to play like crap a lot of times early so he can come back and sort of steal the game at the end because his defense kept him in games. I'm just saying.
And look, there are a couple points I want to make that, and we'll get to it when we come back here. But you guys got a lot to say on it. Sam Flannel certainly has a lot to say about it. But let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It helps fight the stigma associated with seeking help for mental challenges. Go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling. If you know someone who's struggling, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Ruhl here for Bedrock Detroit, and downtown Detroit's decked out all winter long with the return of the Cadillac Lodge in the Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has a giant slide, the winter bumper cars, and indoor arcade. Plus, you can grab drinks at the Lodge before games, after games, Red Wings, Pistons, concerts, whatever you want to do. It's on and popping all winter long. Shop, eat, and play downtown. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Got my guy Lindsey Hunter here in the house. My name is Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here in the building. Just kind of wrapping up this Tom Brady discussion. Alex Merrill says, LOL, Flannel, it's luck 7 times. Sam, you're just a hater. I love it. You're getting called the hater. And I love it. I'm here for it.
He's used to it.
He is used to it.
He has gotten a lucky for... I mean... Tom Brady has obviously played a big role in all of those Super Bowls. My thing, or in some of those Super Bowls, I will say.
Played a big role in those Super Bowls.
It's just this idea that it was all Brady and nothing else. There are people in this chat right now, and Tom Brady super fans, who actually believe that it was all because of Brady's like magical powers and leadership. That I hear that. It's ridiculous. Tom Brady had a lot of help.
Except for Patrick Mahomes. It is all Patrick Mahomes with the Chiefs.
No, it isn't. What have I often said, and I said this before, 31-9, that Super Bowl loss, scoring 9 points in a Super Bowl is unacceptable.
No touchdowns.
No, he didn't. No touchdowns for the team the whole game. And even in that one that they won, he got a little bit of fortunate. He was a little fortunate in that one, but he did lead the team to 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Tom Brady was lucky, but Mahomes was fortunate. A little bit fortunate.
Hey, Patrick
What's
Mahomes,
the difference?
Hey, Patrick Mahomes led him to 21 points in the fourth quarter. I get that the Chiefs defense was able to hold Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers offense to 20.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Not hard to do.
That's enough, I guess. Max also said only Matt Patricia could beat Tom Brady, I guess. That is true. I mean, just for me, like, you could just tell, and again, this is something I talked about during the course of the season, like, you could just tell, and you knew things weren't, just from the body language, right? Lindsey, could you tell when things weren't going well for guys off the court, like family or stuff? Like, definitely. You could tell, right?
Yeah, especially when you're your teammates. You could tell that something was on their mind, or they had, other things going on. And with Brady, I think we all could tell because we knew. It
was all public and everything like that.
Yeah, and you never know how that affected him. Maybe football was kind of a scapegoat for him. Yeah. Or it just was a means to an end. Like, man, I can't wait to get this season over with so I can move forward, And that's what it kind of looked like.
No, and it did to me. And look, we were talking before the show, and I said, hey, as a father, as a husband, and the decisions were out there, right? And
Right.
we knew, and we have the benefit of getting these reports and everything like that. Did he quote choose football over his family? You know, some people have said that. I understand, and I asked you about this. Like, I can understand how you don't want to let that lifestyle go. And it's not just, like, people think it's just the money. It's not just the money.
No, it's what
and
you
it's not
do.
just the fame.
Right.
It's the traveling with the guys. It's the flights. It's the ball busting. It's all that stuff. Like, all that cliche stuff you hear, it's real. Like, that's, like, working in sports and traveling with teams and stuff like that. Like, I love all that. Like, working with Rick Mahorn. He's the
Right.
consummate ball buster.
I wouldn't
right?
say I like working with him, but you know.
Right, exactly. No, but I like
I
that.
do.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I like that stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, you kind of cut on each other and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
and you get laughing, and it's a lot of fun. Like
Right.
it is a lot of fun. So I'm not, you know, as a dad and a husband and everything like that. I'm not here to speak on like his choices or anything like that. All I know is he's the greatest to ever do it, and it is sad to see him go. And I hope like his life stuff works out for him. And I will say this about him too, and I think Sam Flannel's dismissive of this. You were talking about Kobe before the show when you and I were talking about this. With Tom Brady, he gave his life to he didn't eat food.
Right.
Like, think about this, guys. He didn't eat food. His body nutrition, 365 days a year, was geared towards being a quarterback, a Super Bowl level quarterback. He was all in. Like, he gave everything up for it, and we should celebrate that, right? Because that's what we say we want.
And even you know, his off-season workouts, he would be with receivers constantly.
Right.
You hear about him, you know, out in L.A. working with receivers, or when he was in Tampa Bay, he had guys down there in parks working out during the pandemic. You remember?
Right.
So you know, he really gave his life to the sport that he really loved.
No doubt. And so it is. It's sad to see him go, but you know, now Mahomes is up, right? And wow, what a big game for Sam Flannel's boy.
Oh, absolutely. He's the one quarterback active right now who I think has an actual chance with what he's accomplished already to approach Tom Brady's accomplishments when it's all said and done. Obviously, he has to win. I'm not saying he's already there. I'm saying that he has a chance with all he's already done. And I think he's the most talented and the best quarterback I've ever seen in a vacuum. But Tom Brady does have that ridiculous longevity.
Until J.J. McCarthy gets drafted.
Okay,
Then it's different.
Yeah.
Then everything resets. But here's the deal, though, too. And somebody said this in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. They said, hey, I'm sad to see him go, but now the road to the NFC goes through Detroit. Well, that's a little aggressive.
Jesus.
Pump your brakes.
That's a little aggressive right there. But with that being said, you know, as you look around the landscape, and we've seen this play out now, and we know who's in the Super Bowl, and we know how the NFC shook out, Lindsey. How far do you think the Lions are from that Philadelphia level, or when a fan says now the NFC runs through Detroit? We kind of laugh at that a little bit, but I mean, at the same time, we did the chat poll, and everybody seems to think the Lions are going to win the division next year and go to the playoffs and all that stuff. So, how far away are they, Lindsey?
I don't know. It's hard to say, but watching how they finished up the season, you know, their trajectory looks the part. You know, it looks the part. I don't know if it'll maintain, you know, if they can maintain what they had, you know, going into the offseason. They'll look like they're supposed to be there. Now, being there and looking that way is two different things, and you have to get out there on the field and prove it. You know, you have to go out and not, you know, start the season like they did last year. You have to start the season actually on a high note and try to maintain it throughout the season, because, you know, watching Philly run through the NFL this year, it was crazy. Like, it appeared that they weren't going to lose if Hurts doesn't get hurt, you know. But to be on that level, I think they're headed in the right direction. You just, you know, whatever pieces they add to get them over the top, I think will be important for them.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Brandon Cat says Detroit can make the playoffs, but they'll never have a roster close to Philly paying Goff $30 million. But then, Brandon, I would put that on its ear, and then I would say to you, when you look at the Eagles are paying Darius Slay $26 million as a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same. It's the exact same thing. You can just turn Brad Holmes loose in the draft, and you build your roster that way. The rookie contract, it is shifting. And, like, as far as the quarterback position goes, I know that that's hotly contested and paying a quarterback and all that kind of stuff. In what world, if the Eagles would have lost to the 49ers, Brandon, I guarantee you would have sat there and said, "Oh, what are the Eagles going to do? They're paying a cornerback $26 million." I would laugh at that. In no world would I pay a cornerback $26 million. But here they are. So they're going about it the same way, just with the opposite positioning. You know what I'm saying? The moral of the story is you got to get this through the draft. That's it. Like, you got to build the mass foundation of your team through the draft, because you have to have the rookie contract. You have to. Now, it doesn't. You can get caught up. I would say that Goff at $30 million is comparable to paying Slay $26 million.
Yeah,
they're both Pro Bowl players, right?
Right.
Oh, I got that in the back pocket now.
And so is Tyler Huntley.
I know that hurt the case.
That hurts the case.
That's embarrassing.
Like, I like Tyler Huntley. He's a good player, but he only had like 685.
He had like 6 touchdowns and 4 picks or something.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
And 3 interceptions. I like.
Is he good at driving a golf ball though?
Yeah, he must be.
That's kind of the question.
It'll be fun to watch in flag football though.
100%. Maybe that's why he's there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to watch flag football, but.
Neither am I. Lindsey, you going to watch any of this, the Pro Bowl skills competition?
I used to.
And why aren't you?
I used to like it. It used to be cool when they were actually playing football, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of like what is it, Celebrity Olympics or whatever they used to have. The celebrities competing against each other, running and doing all those.
Right.
It's kind of like that now. And I probably won't be. I'll be watching college basketball or something.
You're just being real about it, yeah. Right. Well, isn't it funny though how we get all worked up about this Pro Bowl stuff, and then none of us watch it? Like the ones that are passionate about him being there, the ones that are haters on him for being there, and everything like that. The one commonality we all have is we ain't gonna watch it.
Nobody's gonna watch it.
So that one makes me laugh. When we bring it up, there is some Jamaal Williams, I don't know, I guess news you could say, that we'll touch on. I know that the heavyweights talked about it yesterday. I want to get the highlights of what you guys had to say about it. I kind of want to laugh at Easy a little bit. Any chance I get an opportunity to do that, I'm going to do that. And any opportunity I get to get my hair cut at Lady Jane's, I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, you absolutely should. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Join Big D Energy and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, of course, this Friday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the grand opening of Matrix Home Solutions in Plymouth. Come check out all that Matrix does and have your chance at winning great prizes plus autographs by Braylon Edwards and Darren McCarty. See you this Friday at Matrix Home Solutions in Plymouth. Address is 41303 Concept Drive in Plymouth. Or check them out at matrixhomesolutions.com.
On and pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter in the house for DMAC this week. We got Sam Flannel, we got Spencer Raxter. You know how we're rolling out in the streets. Happy to have you guys with us. And, we kind of turned the discussion from Tom Brady into the Lions because I was told the NFC runs through Detroit now, Lindsey. I don't know if you knew that or not. But Jamaal Williams was making some news. He's popping up on podcasts and TV shows and stuff like that. And Lindsey, I have to ask you this: as a man that was a professional athlete and was about business too, like
right.
You love playing and all that stuff, but we like money too. We do.
Right.
That's fair. Jamaal Williams is out there talking and really intimating that he's going to be back with the Lions. Just how he was talking about what's going on in Detroit and things like that. And I know the heavyweights, Spenmo, talked about it, but the value of the locker room component, because that's what I hear, right? Because I'm a big salary cap guy. I'm a big team-friendly contract guy. And I have my limits with Jamaal Williams. I do. They're a little bit less than a lot of other people. I asked DMAC this. I'm curious to get your take. I imagine the answer will be somewhere around the same. How real is that locker room thing? Your impression of Jamaal Williams and how he speaks out in public and things like that. How real is it with him?
Well, I would say it's very real because I know experiencing it myself. That's an important part of your culture. That's an important part of, especially when you have a young team. You have to have. You have to have a good locker room. You have to have guys that are kind of self-policing. All the great teams I've ever been a part of, our locker rooms were phenomenal. We didn't need need a coach really to tell us what to do or whatever. We controlled it ourselves, and that comes with having a mature guy that can deal with things in the proper manners. And he seems to be one of those guys. Now, how much value people put into that, how much value a team puts into that is a different story, because some teams care more about those type of things than others. Mm-hmm. And they may look at it as, hey, this is strictly business. We don't care about your value in the locker room. We care about the value you bring in and how much money we have to spend on you. So it works. It's kind of a tough situation to be in.
No, it is, and you have to balance it, and obviously with salary cap things, I know people are going to run to the salary cap increase. But Spenny, I know you guys were rapping about it on the heavyweights yesterday. What was the people's takeaway on it?
Everybody wants him back. We've talked about, obviously, his production on the field. This is the first year in his career that he's had over 200 carries in a season and his first 1,000-yard rushing season. And obviously he broke Barry Sanders' single-season touchdown record, which is not something to scoff at. Even if 11 of them were for a yard or less, it's still impressive. And like you said, he is the heart and soul of the team. He's imperative force in the locker room for the young guys. He likes it here. He seems to like everybody here, likes the culture fit. So I was on board. Easy was on board. Easy said his hard stop would be about $7 million a year. I would go a little bit over that. I'd say like 8.5 is what I would think that I could throw at him. But it's for me, I think they need to get a deal done and bring him back.
Look at Neal.
$8.5 million.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'd do 8.5.
You should run Woodward Sports, Spenny.
Why?
Because I'll be up next summer. And I want to chat with you, bro. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. And I know that it's romantic, right? And again, Spot Track has him pegged at about a $4.5 million a year market value.
I can't see him accepting that.
So, this is what they do,
right?
The analysis, like you're talking with your heart. Or what's your term, Spenny?
I would say like 8.5 over 3 years, but like $1 million of incentives a year as like snap count, yardage total.
And I get it.
So like $7 million guaranteed.
Right. So I get it, and you're getting kind of lit up there. And not just by the regular people. Brandon Katz says Jamaal Williams is not worth close to $7 million. I would kind of lean towards that too. Like seven's getting kind of aggressive as well. $8.5 million is outer space stuff spending. You know I respect you. You know. I know you're an emotional guy though. You get caught up in it and things like that. I guess. Detroit Germ says I'm actually moving back to Detroit this year and starting a business. Well, good luck, brother. I hope it all works out for you. Andrew Schmidt says Jamaal will work with the team on the contract to stay. Chuck Brewer says 2 years, $5 million per is my limit. And that's about the stratosphere that I'm in, because a running back thing to me, Lindsey, is he'll be 28 next year. When the season starts,
right? And
Jamaal Williams at 28, like his running style is a little different than than what I'm saying than some other running back styles.
Right. I mean, he's between the tackles. He's the tough yardage guy. So and the value of running backs in this league have just dropped,
plummeted.
Like I've never seen anything like it. They're devalued. Even the young running backs are devalued now. And most teams want multiple backs. So him being that style of runner, that hurt him a little bit too, But I just, it's tough on running backs. When just thinking about it, remember Adrian Peterson and those guys signing those humongous deals?
Didn't work out well.
Over.
Yeah.
Those days are over.
If I'm Jamaal Williams, I'm looking at it like you said with Kyler Murray making $47 million. Nyheim Hines is making $6.2 million a year. I scored 17 touchdowns last year. I should be making at least that.
And that's fine.
Making $7 million
if I were his agent, that's where it starts for me, because people were talking about Jalen Hurts easier. And Lindsey asked me during the break, he's like, what do you think Jalen Hurts would get? And I'd be like, well, Kyler Murray gets $47 million. So if I'm his agent, I say I will not pick up the phone unless we start talking at $47 million and $1. Mm-hmm. And that's for real with me. Like that would be how I would have that conversation. I'll make more than Patrick Mahomes. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
So don't even waste the cell phone minutes or whatever. Like don't even waste the battery on your phone calling, unless you're talking like that.
So what is our guy from Baltimore is going to do?
Yeah, Lamar. I mean, I think Baltimore will end up kicking the can down the road and franchise tagging him. Yeah, and they'll squeeze the last couple years out of it, and then they'll probably send him on his way. At least that's what I would do if I were Baltimore. Because what's the alternative? Tyler Huntley's a Pro Bowler. I understand that.
Yeah, probably got a fat bonus for that.
I
think he did.
He's high level Pro Bowler. I understand that, but that's how I would do it. I would probably kick the can down the road.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not show friends, it's show business, Lindsey.
No doubt, and that's why he's not cooperating either.
Yeah. No, and Dom Rivera, I know Lamar said he won't play on the franchise tag. I get that. But that's a game of chicken right there.
Yeah.
To where I say, all right, we're going to franchise tag you. You can sit the year out.
Man, that's kind of harsh.
How many years you got left?
Hey, that's kind of harsh to a former MVP.
It's not show friends, Lindsey. It's show business, man.
He can look at Tyler and all those guys and go, oh, okay. None of these guys have my resume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and Will Herban says I'm pretty sure he's serious. Yeah, but so is Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore has not. I mean, they played Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Right.
And they just gave Roquan Smith $20 million a year.
They made their choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then you have to figure something else out then, because you're not going to let them go for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays itself out. And I know it's a big number. Like Brandon Katz says, it's hard to franchise a quarterback. The entire contract is guaranteed and it counts against the cap. Right, I get that. And I did hear some of the podcasts I listened to, and that are about financials and stuff like that. They talked about how the 49ers are doing things at an inverse of the way that everybody else does them, where they front load everything.
Yeah.
And I saw that the Chiefs have kind of done this with Patrick Mahomes' contract too, where their teams are starting to front load everything now, so the pain's gone.
Right.
And I understand that the whole thing would count against a cap, and you can't stretch it out and things like that. But I would be interested to see how it's going to shake out with Lamar. I will, because they're not going to give him 250 at 5, all guaranteed like Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, NFL GMs and owners should go to the Browns ownership and say, what the hell's the matter with you guys?
Hey, he got paid.
He did.
He got paid. Everything guaranteed.
Yeah. Wow. Like, it's wild.
Man.
Kirk Cousins started it. Kirk Cousins is the franchise tagged and then franchise tagged again. And I think you get like an extra 50% or like an extra 100% of your franchise tag if you do it a second year in a row.
There's a kicker. I don't remember what the kicker is.
And then got the fully guaranteed contract. I need that guy's agent. Like, that is insane.
Lamar needs his agent.
Yeah, for sure.
he leads the league in legalized bank robbery. Yeah. Kirk Cousins does. There's no question about it. What about, though, Jamaal Williams walking around talking about how, us in Detroit and we in Detroit? Your agent ever tell you, like, you just keep your mouth shut and let me handle this?
I knew that from the beginning. I wasn't saying anything. I mean, it's kind of a game,
right?
And he's playing up to the. I mean, he probably genuinely loves it here because he's had a great run this year, right?
Yeah.
So he loves it here, and he's beloved. So why wouldn't you want to be here? But I guarantee you, if somebody else come calling and they offer more money, that tone will change.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So if a team applies the franchise tag to a player in back-to-back years, they're agreeing to pay the athlete 100% of their salary.
Okay, so it's a 20% kicker.
Yeah.
I knew there was some kind of kicker. I couldn't remember.
It's top 5 money when you get tagged.
Yeah, it's you average out the top 5 salaries at the position. Like if everyone wants to do quick math on it, you take the average of the top 5 salaries at the position. That's what you get paid. Then the second time they do it, again, they reset. They take the top 5 salaries at the position plus 20% this time.
That's how Kirk Cousins made $40 million a year before anybody else.
Yeah.
It was 1 year, but hey, that's a good year.
I just don't see how Lamar, as a guy who's made a second round pick or late first round pick, rookie money. How are you going to sit across that table,
man,
and someone slides that piece of paper over at you? It's a 1-year deal that as soon as you sign your name is a guaranteed $47 million. Like, you can talk tough. But when that piece of paper's in front of you and you sign your name to it, at that moment you get $47 million, no matter what. Like, for real, you're gonna sit out a year? For real?
Well, supposedly he turned down what they offered him something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a 40-ish. It was like 40-ish million.
I don't know, man. That's tough.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's one of those things for me. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out because, again, it's really, really wild. I know that we have Lindsey here, and Spenny's going to run a fast break. We're going to do that coming up in just a little bit, and I'm excited to do it. We talk a little bit about basketball, so everybody get the hate in there right now. So Spenny will fight it all back. But yeah, I just don't see how you can push that piece of paper away. I don't get it. I'll never get it, but whatever. I'll tell you what I do get. Cintron. And Cintron's a fashionable, functional, and fun lifestyle beverage brand. They have a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages and premium bottled water. They're the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, why wait? Cintron is your top choice. Follow Cintron on social media at Cintron World. You can get it on Amazon, and you can buy online at drinkcintron.com. It's Cintron.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Market, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. We can get your customized approach to weight loss. Our own Ryan Ermanni is in it right now. He's ripped already. We're just playing a little bit, having some fun. But Ryan Ermanni is on his way. Custom Health Centers has over 20,000 success stories. Ryan Ermanni certainly will be one by the time it's all said and done. They've helped many professional athletes lose weight and improve their health. Former Lion kicking great Eddie Murray, Piston bad boy Rick Mahorn as well. You can be next. Start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health at 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-THIN. It's Custom Health Centers. On and pushing Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here in the building. Happy you guys are with us. And I don't know if you guys caught, I mean, I'm sure you did because it was out there everywhere. Sean Payton has landed with the Denver Broncos. Now that makes Sam Flannel happy because that means Jim Harbaugh will not be there. Although real quick, since we got to do it, and this is your coach that does this, it's not me, it's not a Michigan hate or anything like that. Are you like me? Do you think that Jim Harbaugh was kind of their backup plan?
At this point in Jim Harbaugh's career, I wouldn't. If I were an NFL GM, I wouldn't want Jim Harbaugh.
No, it's not the question.
No, I understand.
Do you think he was their backup plan?
No, my point is that's why he could have been their backup plan.
If the hot cheerleader turned him down to go to the prom, do you think that Jim Harbaugh would have been the one that they went to that was in the National Honor Society and said, all right, Jim, we'll go with you?
I think it's very possible.
Well, what happened?
National Honor Society Executive Board.
Okay, Spenmo. Let's go.
I had 4 AP classes my senior year.
Let's go.
I'm not just a pretty face, Neal.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not. No, but I'm sorry, Sam Flannel. Proceed.
No, the reason why I said it at the beginning is I don't think he's anybody's first choice at this moment. Obviously not ahead of Sean Payton, who's already won a Super Bowl as a head coach and had such a great combination with Drew Brees, and now he's going to get to work with Russell Wilson. So, to me, Jim Harbaugh, all he is sort of a backup for a team right now. In the NFL, being as old as he is, it's leaning more towards those young, innovative offensive minds. Or a guy like Sean Payton, who's already proven he's such a great coach and works so well with a quarterback like Drew Brees.
Is it wild to you, Lindsey, as an NBA guy, that coaches get traded for in the NFL?
Doc Rivers got traded for.
Yeah, Doc Rivers got traded.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So it's kind of the common thing now, you know.
For those that missed it, the Denver Broncos agreed to the trade with the Saints. Sean Payton will be their head coach. The Saints received the Broncos' 2023 first-round pick, which is number 29 overall, and the 2024 second-round pick for Payton, and the Saints' 2024 third-round selection. So essentially it's a first-rounder and a pick swap the following year, the second round for the third-round pick swap. I don't know. I mean, for me, does Sean Payton, is he going to be able to save Russell Wilson? Because I don't think so.
I don't know, man. Russ looked
cooked.
Yeah.
To steal a
let Russ cook.
Yeah.
He just looked, I don't know, out of place. You know, but from some of the things I've heard, they said he had a office in the locker room, right? He has an office with a couch and a film. I mean,
don't get me started on this guy. Please don't do that. I got triggered about something we're going to talk about earlier. Don't do this to Russell Wilson with me now.
Hey, I'm just
don't
telling
talk about doing stretches on the airplane going to London. Don't talk about his action figure hair. Don't talk about him nosediving the Denver Broncos franchise, both in draft capital and on the field. Don't do it to me, Lindsey.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you what I heard. I heard he had his own office with the couch and a massage table and all sorts of little whatever. And because someone said Sean Payton's first move is to go to Russ and say, hey, you can't do this. You got to get all this out of here.
I mean, he's got the cachet to do it, unlike a Nathaniel Hackett, who was a one-year head coach, a one-and-done, who turned out to be a disaster. With Sean Payton, you at least have a leader. Russell Wilson will have to respect him and sort of see that he's the guy because Sean Payton has a resume. How great did he work with Drew Brees? If I'm Sean Payton, I'm like, I could do that for you too, Russell. And so he has to sort of show that respect to Sean Payton.
But from some of the stuff that we're hearing about Russ, did we know Russ was prima donna-ish like this?
Yeah, but at least in Seattle, he put together a Hall of Fame resume.
That's what I'm saying. But he never. I thought he was always kind of humble and man, this is new to me. It's Neal, him on the plane. He was just loosening up.
Stop. Stop, man. Like.
And
just stop.
You hear from his former players like Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch saying if they want to contact Russ, Sherman was trying to reach out to him this year about his struggles, give him a pep talk. They have to contact his agent if they want to reach him, and those are some of your best friends on the team, some of the guys you won a Super Bowl with.
Hey man, he's big time now.
Yeah.
His wife is Sierra.
Yeah, it's true.
Have to get through their publicist first.
No, stop.
What do you mean? Did you hear the story about the college coaches that are recruiting little Bronny? You know what they have to do?
Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. No, I know, and I know he's got his deal with Nike and all those kinds of that's a little to me. That's a little different. It's Braun's son, man,
I know,
and
I'm
it's Nike
saying.
And stuff like that. That's a little different.
He
doesn't have action figure hair.
This is Russ, man, and Sierra.
I know, and I know that he lays in bed and says, "Yo, Seattle, we got a deal." I know he does all that stuff. That was douchey too, man.
You ever done something dangerous? I have. It's a sandwich, bro. It's not dangerous.
Are we getting to be Aaron Rodgers on Russell Wilson? I feel like I am.
Cringe people are really off-putting to me. I don't like that, and Russell Wilson is probably the most cringe quarterback in the National Football League.
He is, man.
I don't like it.
Hey, you got to give him credit, though. He stuck with it the whole season. Even when they were awful.
He bought it. Broncos country. Let's ride.
He say it all the time.
Yeah.
God.
He would say it at the end of press conferences.
Yes, he did it all the time. They would be getting crucified, and he'd go, "Hey, Broncos country, let's go."
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, dude, you just lost 30-2.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that pick's number 30, not number 29, and somebody earlier said that the Broncos didn't have a first-round pick. They did. They did via the 49ers through the Dolphins for the Bradley Chubb trade.
And it's the 29th pick. It is number 30.
Oh, because of the forfeiture.
Yeah,
that's right, because the Miami forfeited a pick and stuff like that. So it's a pick that they traded as part of the Bradley Chubb trade. So that's how they ended up with it. So that's why they have it, and that's why they could get it. I just don't understand how I just don't think Sean Payton's going to walk in there and fix this. Look, I know that we have this view that Sean Payton's the savior, but he did still have Drew Brees. And oh, by the way, he got his Super Bowl. Who did Sean Payton beat to win his Super Bowl?
He beat Peyton Manning in the Colts.
Oh,
weird.
Hey, I mean that was. I never said that wasn't a stain on Peyton Manning's legacy. He had a chance to go in and tie the game, and he said he threw a game-losing pick six.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. I never said that Peyton Manning is as great all time in sort of the rankings as Tom Brady. He didn't do enough in the playoffs.
And he had a lot more help.
No, stop it. Stop it.
Look at the list of Pro Bowlers he's played with compared to Brady.
Look at those New England Patriots defenses. Come on. Stop it.
Colts had some pretty good defenses, too.
No, they had a couple. They had a couple of good defenses. They had a couple of good players. Come on.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Peaceful Tim. Yes, Denver gives their first this year. Right, I was explaining kind of the origins of how they did have a first-round pick because Russell Wilson cost them their very high first-round pick. You know, that pick that they would have had at number 5. They don't get that because they traded for Russell Wilson. So they lost number 5, and they're stuck with Russell Wilson. And, I know that. And look, Brandon Katz, yes, Wilson had one bad year. His career isn't over. I'm not betting on him. You betting on him?
No way.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I mean, he didn't light the world up the year before. He was just he was just okay the year before he left, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he fell off really hard.
Yeah, he was okay. He wasn't great, Flannel.
No, I mean, he wasn't great, but nobody could have foreseen what happened this year. The disaster that was Russell Wilson's season. I mean, he was never bad in Seattle. He had fallen off a little bit, but this was planets colliding bad this season for Russell Wilson, especially with all the damage he did to the draft capital and the cap. Yikes. It's an absolute disaster.
Yeah, I hope Sean's getting paid, which I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
He had his pick. So get your money, Sean Payton. Good luck. Good luck to you with that guy and that hair and that lack of draft capital and all that stuff. Doug Fungus says shrooms just became legal before the Broncos season started. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm not here to dispute facts. Just like if you ask me what if I could do anything for lunch, what would I do? I'll tell you what a fact is.
Yeah, a fact is you're going to go to Cousins Maine Lobster and get yourself a lobster roll because that stuff is chronic. And Woodward Sports is brought to you by Cousins Maine Lobster Detroit. Check out the food trucks rolling around the city, offering the tastiest lobster rolls, lobster tacos, and Terry and my favorite, lobster grilled cheese. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com and search locations to find the Detroit schedule or download the app and order ahead and earn points. You can even scan that QR code right there and figure out where they are rolling around the city. So make sure you check out Cousins Maine Lobster.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
It's a new year, so let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also offer 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. To get all of that, all you got to do is call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. How many days of flannel protection?
205.
205. We're getting there slowly but surely. Call them at 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the NFL, Tom Brady.
Oh, ouch. Call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Man, harsh. Rolling up towards the second hour of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, that's Lindsey Hunter. We have Sam Flannel. We have Spencer Raxter. Lindsey in for DMAC this week. Happy to have you with us. Jump into that WoodwardSports.com chat thread. You're a very valued contributor to the show. Mike G says flannels bangs, scissors, stay out.
I knew you were going to read that one. I would have bet my life you were going to read that one. I saw that coming in, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm about to get roasted.
Would you have bet your bangs on it? Probably, probably not, because you knew it was going to go down. We have Lindsey Hunter here, so I'd like to take advantage of having Lindsey Hunter here. So we're going to do our thing right now. We like to do this across all sports. Today, it's Spencer Raxter's time to shine. It is the NBA and Detroit Pistons Fast Break. 5 questions about the NBA and your Detroit Pistons. Let's get into it, shall we?
All right, let's get it. First question of the Fast Break. Duren or Ivey? Who has the higher ceiling going forward as a Detroit Piston player?
Lindsey, I am glad you are here because I want you to mark me on this one. I think that Jalen Duren is going to be a star. I think that Jalen Duren has the chance to have the highest ceiling of anyone on the Pistons. I'm talking a walking 2013, 2014 a game guy. I mean, I am that high on him. He's raw. He's still not old enough to get in the bar and everything like
Right.
that. Like, I understand that.
Right.
But you look at the body. You look at the bounce. When I was calling the game in Brooklyn, I saw him block a shot where his hand was above the square.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy, I'm telling you, man, I am as high on anybody as I am on Jalen Duren. He is a star in the making. Am I wrong?
Nope, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
I think definitely we talk. Ben and I talk about him. We talked about him a lot because I was asking Ben, have you ever talked to him? Giving him some little tidbits here and there. But his ceiling is super high. I hope he can become somewhat of a Amari Stoudemire type because he has that body and that athleticism. He just has to. Amari wasn't always as dynamic as he became, and he got the 10-14 foot jump shot, and of course attacking the rim, he was the best at attacking the rim, off pick and roll and stuff like that. If he can become similar to that, then hey, what you said will be true.
Yeah, and Spenny, I'm curious to get your take on that one, as a matter of fact.
I do think it's Duren. I've been repeatedly saying this. Like, the first game I watched him play in a Pistons uniform, that first summer league game, obviously I was enamored by his size, his athleticism.
He doesn't look like he belongs out there.
No,
like, he looks like he's outer space from everybody.
He looked like he was ready for the league already when he was in summer league. But what I got most excited about was he hit a turnaround 15-footer.
I remember that.
It didn't even go in, but it looked so smooth, so clean. Like, it wasn't a hiccupy jump shot. I was like, that looked natural, and I was like, he's got obviously Rashard Lewis in there. Maybe they bring Sheed back, who was there at Memphis, have him, get some big man shooters in there to help him. I love Jalen Duren.
Real quick on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, here on Mark M says this, and I never hear anybody talk about this. And I didn't talk about it, but it's true. It's something I've thought about before. He says rim protecting can change games. He can be a rim protector defensively.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And you see flashes of it now.
Right.
You watch him go up and block
at 19.
a shot. Yeah, at 19. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing right now.
Right.
So and everybody needs a rim protector. Like you watch, if you look at all the good teams, the teams that compete every year, they all have some sort of rim protection.
Well, it gives you a shot when you break down defensively. It gives you a shot to stay in the fight.
Absolutely.
You break down, you blow an assignment. You got at least a fighting chance to not give up a bucket that possession.
And I think a lot of people get it misconstrued. Having a rim protector doesn't mean he necessarily blocks shots all the time.
Yeah. Right.
It's just the fact that, like, Draymond's a great rim protector. He's small in stature, and he's not as athletic as Duren, but he's a great rim protector because he understands how to put that barrier up. He jumps vertical, he doesn't put his arm out, and he makes it tough to challenge around the rim. So if Jalen can become that with his athleticism, now he could be a dominant shot blocker.
Yeah, and Mike G says rim protection doesn't mean much against Golden State. Mike G, don't get me wrong, like the game has changed, no doubt. But again, I'm coming from the standpoint when your defense breaks down, he gives you a shot at least to not give up an easy bucket.
And Mike G, you go look at the stats. Golden State, when they're winning, they score more points in the paint than anybody. It's just not don't get hypnotized with the three ball.
Right.
Steph and Clay, those guys get to the basket.
And the lanes, right?
Oh.
When you can shoot from the perimeter, there's gaps, man.
Yes.
Ducking, cuts, all that kind of stuff. There's gaps.
And,
all right.
Brandon Cat said it in the Woodward Sports Chat. Perimeter defense is more important than rim protection. Gobert gets destroyed in the playoffs every year, and I said that on the heavyweights. Jalen Duren is already an infinitely better perimeter defender than Rudy Gobert. Like, the way he can stay in front of a guard, stay with a guard, and move his feet is extremely impressive for a guy his size.
Right, and he's not a liability on a ball screen, pick and roll. He's not.
No, I just love it. All right, next question of the fast break. You're starting your franchise. You got to pick between one of these two guys to build around, Luka Doncic or Giannis Antetokounmpo. Who are you choosing?
Man, Lindsey, I want to say Luka so bad because from his car that he drives into the arena.
That was a tank.
Yeah, he's got like an armored tank or whatever it is that he drives into the arena. The way he chirps at assistant coaches with the Pistons.
Who started that?
Yeah, I know.
We need to find that out.
We do need to find that out. Dwayne Casey even said he liked it too. It's good to get a little juice going. I want to say Luka so bad. I love that Luka's bigger and thicker, and when he retires, he's going to gain 40 pounds the next day. I like that about him too. I like Luka so much, and it's so fun to watch Luka play because he's such a wiry scorer. In that he's going to find a way, if he's got to shoot right hand, left hand, off the back foot, fade away, turn and spin, post, 3-point shot, whatever. He'd be the ultimate horse player. And I love it. And he's fun. But Giannis, man, that length, the fluidity. And I know the perimeter game can be a liability at times. I understand that. But when you size things up, and he's cashed one in already, and that's going to be the question about Luka. And the Mavericks have to do something to help him. They are on the clock now with Luka. But I just can't. Just Giannis, man. He's the Ferrari, bro. He's the Ferrari, and I can't get past it. I want to say Luka. I do. But then my inner wisdom says to take Giannis.
And you're absolutely right.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you watch him and you watch how he's developed over the years and how, his mindset is, I have to get better. I have to keep working. I have to get, and with what he's already accomplished, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP of the league, MVP of the finals.
Right.
He's already done that. And he's still not complete.
Right.
But he's a monster, and he brings it every single night. I've watched him a lot, and I've never seen him not bring it. And that's what I'm impressed with him about. With his star status, you would think, and then we see a lot of guys take nights off. They don't play. This dude brings it, no matter who he's playing against, where he is. He brings it every night, and you would have to start your organization with a guy like that.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And look, I get the age thing. I read it as, we're starting a team right now this year. And the questions are going to be asked. And I see it, too, with, the Luka discussion already. They're like, well, he doesn't defend. That's when you score a lot and you don't win, that's the default. Well, you can't defend.
I won't say you can't. I think you just don't put the energy into that end of the court because your responsibility is to go out and, for us to compete, I got to get 40.
And that's to get tough. 40, I have to be out here. And to be out here, I'm a human being. I have to take a playoff.
Yeah,
I got to take a playoff.
Right.
You're not taking the playoff with the ball in your hand.
And see, the thing I love about Giannis, he's not taking plays off.
No, he's not. No, he's definitely not. Who you got on that one, Spenny?
I'm going Giannis.
Are you?
Yeah.
Do you want it to be Luka too, though?
I do a little bit, but what Giannis can
fun.
do offensively as well as defensively, where he's one of the best defenders in the league.
Yep.
You can't say no. But it was Jerome Allen, assistant coach Jerome Allen, who was talking crap to Luka.
But did Jerome start it, or what happened?
I never heard a definitive,
I saw Luka walking, and I saw Jerome walking toward him, and then.
So, according to Mark Spears, Pistons assistant coach Jerome Allen believes that Doncic spoke very disrespectfully to Casey, which is why Allen started getting into it with him.
Okay,
it makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It certainly does make sense.
All right, next question of the fast break. I asked Lindsey this yesterday during the Ask Lindsey about Steph and Zeke, and we talked about it a little bit before the show started, but where does John Stockton fit into your all-time point guard rankings?
Whew, that's tough, man. Neal, what do you think? What do you say?
He ain't Isaiah Stratosphere. And I don't care where you people go with the answer to this question. I don't care what you guys say, as long as he ain't equivalent with Isaiah.
He's got to be top 10. He has to be top 10.
Okay. Somewhere down there.
I had him right out of the top 5. You know, I think it's Magic, Curry, Zeke, Oscar Robertson, Chris Paul, and then you can fill in the bottom 5.
Now,
so you got him ahead of Chris Paul? You got Chris Paul ahead of
Stockton, yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm 100% cool with that. And I'm not a huge Chris Paul guy, but I'm anything that you put ahead of John Stockton, I'm down with. and here's the other thing. To be fair, I'm compromised. You guys know this, right? I'm a simp for Isaiah Thomas. I am, and I freely admit that. However, I would even take it a step further. If we went pound for pound, now obviously it's going to be Magic, 6'9" point guard, dude. Like, what are you going to do? Guy played center in the NBA Finals. Even you got to put Magic there because of the physical gifts he was getting. However, if it were pound for pound, I put Isaiah Thomas up there with anybody in the history that's ever played the game because of the dog factor. And I don't care what you guys say, and everyone's going to get fired up about this, and I don't care. There were 1,100 people at a game at the Silverdome, and the Pistons were winning like 11 games a year. And he showed up with nothing and walked out with back-to-back championships in the middle of the golden era of the NBA. That's factual. That's what happened. That's what he did. It was through his will. He showed up and did it. And that's why, for me, he's always got to be at the top of this list. And he always will be. And John Stockton, yeah, you got Magic, you got Zeke. I'll put Steph Curry there. I'll put Oscar Robertson up there, too. Oscar Robertson never gets the love that he should get. I'll put Chris Paul up there. I'll put Bob Cousy up there. I'll put Jerry West up there. He's the logo, for Christ's sake.
I'd put Jerry West above Stockton.
That makes him better than John Stockton. He's the logo of the league. What's Stockton ever done? Man. What did he ever do for real other than run the pick and roll every second of every game with Karl Malone?
Yeah, he has a lot of steals too, but still.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shorts. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He's top 10 though.
I mean,
top 10.
Karl Malone's the best low post scorer in the history of the NBA. So like having that in pick and roll every
I'm
play.
just saying they both had a lot of usage, Lindsey.
Yeah. No, they did, but they got to 2 finals with that usage, and as much as for God's sake, I almost got in a fight with John Stockton before. So
good. I'm sure he was in the wrong.
Yeah, he elbowed me, and I grabbed him around his neck. But he has to be top 10. He could still pass the ball and make things happen, but he's not Isaiah Thomas. There's no way close.
No. Thank you. Thank you, Lindsey. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Let's do this. Let's take the break. We'll get to the fourth quarter and the fifth quarter on the NBA fast break because we got some other stuff. And I think number 5, it's really going to intrigue the people, I think. Just like Big Boy intrigues the people. Wintertime in Detroit's always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You can try the classic meatloaf, Ben Raxter's favorite. Give him the loaf. Cajun chicken Alfredo. What about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The Lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag out. There they go, right on the whistle, baby, talking to one another.
sports.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning. We find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can get the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and the official lotion of Spencer Rachter, the Swedish Beauty Lotion.
Oh, yeah.
Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one of the 27 locations, more on the way, by the way, work best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning. The hottest deals, the hottest bulbs, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Yay, yay. Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're going to wrap up the fast break here with Lindsey Hunter. I get a chance to pick his brain. And, just backing up to it, the John Stockton thing. I forgot about Gary Payton. I'll take Gary Payton over John Stockton.
Wow. What about Mark Price?
If I'm shooting free throws, yeah. I will take Gary Payton over John Stockton. I will. If you don't like the way I'm talking, say something.
Mark Price was underrated. Mark Price was really, really good.
He was. It's too bad they choked to the Bulls that year.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't choke. They just got beat.
Right. No, they won, 60 games or something? Yeah,
he was good, man.
Yeah.
That dude was really good.
He made Brad Daugherty good. He made Brad Daugherty so good he could go be a NASCAR announcer. Right. That's how good he made Brad Daugherty. Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter here, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rachter as well. LFG is my guy. I'll take Fat Lever was a better guard than John Stockton. Michael Adams and Fat Lever. Just pulling, Lindsey. Remember they ran that offense?
They were good. They
shot within 8 seconds of getting the basketball every time.
Yes, they got shot out the league too.
Yeah, well, they did. They did, but hey,
it was fun to watch.
Alex English was fun too, man.
Oh yeah, he could score, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
that guy got buckets, bro.
Yes.
But yeah, we are chopping it up here. It is the NBA and Pistons fast break. We're in the fourth quarter. All right, Spenmo, what do you got, fourth quarter?
All right, fourth question of the NBA fast break. I believe this is true. I've been saying it for a while. But by the end of his career, do you think Cade Cunningham can be the second best point guard in Detroit Pistons history?
Yes, and not for the reasons that you're going to think. And I think the biggest reason, and I heard people around town saying, this is a throwaway year for the Pistons and things like that. And why do you think that is? Because the number one overall pick got hurt 10 games in. Right. But what else was it going to be at that point? Because I'm with you, Spenny. I think he can be. And the biggest asset that he brings to this basketball team, and I think we're seeing it without him, is the versatility of what he brings defensively. He can guard the 1, the 2, the 3. Here's why you can take a Jaden Ivey, and I do believe if they end up with the second pick in the draft, why you can take Scoot as well, is because Cade and his versatility, Cade can be a 3.
Yeah, that's
he
what
can
I
play
see.
the 3.
Yeah, that's what I think he's better off playing a 3.
And he solves a problem for you.
Yep.
Being the 3.
Yeah, because that's a wing defender, a wing guy that can catch it and go finish. I like him catching the ball at the second level more so than bringing it down all the time. Because if he's catching it at the second level as well as he passes the ball, he catches it and he beats one defender, and now you got problems. With him bringing it up, your defense can focus on him, get it out of his hands, things like that.
Yeah, and you could say, second best point guard of all time is, and CJ Schneider says Cade isn't a 3. Cade can play a 3.
Yeah,
he can defend the 3 most importantly.
Well, what people don't realize if you're watching NBA basketball, it's positionless basketball.
That is true.
We're just saying he's a 3 because he's one of the biggest, perimeter players on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So, most teams are playing, 4 guards, for God's sake, 1 big, The days of the position is kind of over.
Right.
We do that for our own knowledge, but we're watching, what they call small ball. The Warriors are starting 2-point guards, Klay Thompson.
Who's a 2? Yeah.
Right. They're starting a
2
small
1s and a 3.
lineup.
2 1s and a 2. Yeah. I mean that is what it is, and it's, for me, he can be one of the all-time great Piston guards. He can, because of the versatility that he provides.
Oh, most definitely.
Got to stay healthy though. Like, those questions start now. Fair or not fair, those questions do start, Lindsey. about the health, and you got to be out there and things like that.
Right. It'll he'll have to do a lot to overtake Chauncey. To me, he'll have to do a lot. Like you got to win a chip.
You got to win a chip for sure.
Hey, that's fair. If that's your, this is a player. This is a player talking to you right now. So that's how it's viewed. What about you, Spenny? Where you at?
I agree with that he does have to win a chip, but I think he will. I think Cade Cunningham will win a championship in Detroit, and I think he will overtake Chauncey for that.
Walter Briggs says this is all a disservice to Mateen Cleaves.
All right, relax. Mateen's my guy.
That's my guy, man. Stop it.
Spartan dog, but
Mateen's my guy, man.
No. And I will say, though, too, that just goes to show you. I always go back to it when people give me the Joe Dumars slander. He traded Mateen for John Barry and a pick.
Yeah.
That was a great move.
It was a great move.
In the annals of time. Real quick too, LFG's on one. Baron Davis greater than John Stockton. Let's go. Baron Davis was my guy. Man. He was electric.
I said John Starks. John Starks is better than John Stockton. Give me that for sure.
Oh, man.
Dirty Dr. D. Jason Kidd greater than John Stockton.
Yeah.
Dude, there was nothing like back in the day watching TNT Thursday night. They had the Golden State Warriors back when they had the
orange,
the helmet wearing guy as their logo. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
That awful looking mascot.
Baron Davis, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson.
They would be on that Thursday night game playing the Lakers or whatever, and they'd lose 141-135.
It was electric.
It was electric, man. I miss Baron Davis, man.
He was good. BD was really good.
He doesn't get his due either. That's an example of like not winning a chip kind of really impacting how you're viewed.
Because think about how great Tim Hardaway is.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
He doesn't get viewed that way.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
It is sad because people forget the work that he would put in. All right, fifth quarter.
Ooh, Tony Parker is a good one, too. Final question. Tony Parker's got Hall of Fame bodies on his belt too.
Yeah.
People pleaser, white chocolate better than John Stockton. I would agree.
I said Jameer Nelson.
More fun to watch.
Give me Jameer Nelson.
Who's more fun to watch? All right, who's more fun to watch?
Yeah.
Jason Williams or John Stockton?
Of course he's more fun to watch, but he's not better than John Stockton.
You guys are just trolling.
Unless you turn the TV on, he is.
Jason Williams is one of the most. I can't stand the hype that came around him. He turned the ball over more often than he made fancy passes, and the team didn't get good until Mike Bibby got there.
So
he blows.
He was hella fun
Jason
to watch.
Williams blows. He's terrible.
Easy.
Because he's white chocolate. He does those behind the back passes.
They were electric.
I don't care about that. I hate Jason Williams. He's terrible. Terrible.
Strong words from Flannel.
He was electric. You're
Jason
wrong.
Williams is the man.
All right, let's do it here.
Final question of the fast break. Pistons over/under wins next season 25.5. I just said that.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
Over because I believe Cade Cunningham will be healthy.
Okay.
And I do think that on this team, Cade Cunningham is an 8 to 9 win difference. I honestly, which is absurd. Like, in terms of WAR, I guess you would say, wins above replacement or whatever. I think what he provides is the one thing that this team lacks, and we see it night after night after night.
Yeah, I would go over also. I go over. I don't know how much over, but I would go over. And depending on what pick we get, it may be a lot over.
Yeah.
Right. Again, depending on how things shake out. Spud Webb better than John Stockton.
Stop.
Detroit Germ. Hot sauce was a better player.
Oh, my God.
Hot sizzle. That is true, too. Rack.
Hot sauce was awful.
Hot sauce got clamped up.
No, he was terrible.
Yeah.
He couldn't play.
All right. Stephon Marbury over John Stockton.
Master
in China,
P.
that's for sure.
He's a hero in China.
Master P over John Stockton.
Lace him up.
Yeah.
Lace him up. Rack says Steve Francis over John Stockton. What about the franchise, Lindsey? How good was he back in the day?
Oh, he's super talented, man. They started all that damn dribbling. I hated guarding those dudes, man. It was just an ISO show every night. And I'm sitting here like, dude.
So you're on the island for 38, 40 minutes.
Yeah, and every possession. It wasn't like they did it, ever so often. It was every possession. One of those guys was Katino Mobley, him, and one other guy. They would get the ball on the wing and just dribble the shot clock out until they could get to the basket. I was like, this is crazy.
Sue Yu says John Stockton's the best, 100%. He would outsmart all you bums. Hey, Sue Yu, you're a valued member of this community. You are. You've been around for a while. You've watched for a long time. But if you think John Stockton is better than Isaiah Thomas, then you're a bum, Sue Yu. I'm sorry. You are. I'm sorry. I don't like to name call. That's not my thing. That's not my thing. And I won't justify it by saying, well, you called me a bum first. Well, I guess I will. In this case, I will. So I'm sorry. Yes, give me white chocolate over John Stockton. 100%.
No, you would not.
You can't do that.
Stop it.
I'd take Will Bynum over him, though.
Will Bynum. Bynumite.
Will the Thrill, man.
No. Absolutely.
No.
Will Bynum is one of the best. I don't know. You got to put John Stockton. You got to put some respect on his name at least.
Yeah, because this is.
You just said give me Will Bynum over John Stockton, and then you're telling me. I told you the way that I qualified it is if I'm turning this TV on right now to watch a game, and John Stockton's playing on one channel and White Chocolate's playing on another channel, I, much like a majority of the viewers, are going to watch White Chocolate play. You are.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
if you were coaching, and you had to pick between White Chocolate and John Stockton, and winning was. Your priority, who are you picking?
Well, that's different. That's different.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, Will Bynum is a much better sham god than John Stockton.
What?
He hit one in the Big Three tournament.
I was watching.
One of the best sham gods I've ever seen.
All right. Now you guys, now they're calling me a heel. I will Scott Skiles over John Stockton, Kirk Heinrich over John Stockton.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Better hair, John Stockton or Scotty Skiles. All right, we've lost it
John
officially.
Starks fought Michael Jordan on the court, so I'm taking John Starks over John Stockton.
Okay, that's fair. What about Swiss Insurance?
John Starks.
Yeah, John Starks, better known as being a choker right now, unfortunately. All right, Swiss Insurance. Anywho, be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for a commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose a January 1st effective date. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give us a shot and you won't be disappointed. Or email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Back out of here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, former Piston great Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. You guys are clowning right now in the woodwardsports.com chat thread, but I'm here for it. Rax says Steve Blake over John Stockton.
Come on.
Woodward Sports says Rodney Stuckey over John Stockton. I'm here for all of it. Drazen Petrovic over John Stockton. That's actually factual.
Hey, yeah.
Steven, he was nice, man.
A monster.
Yeah.
He could have been.
Yeah, no, he was. Sam.
Well, with the longevity, obviously. But yeah, in a vacuum, he was.
He's a monster.
Stephen Baffey, Tom Kennedy over John Stockton.
Oh, come on, guys.
Bobby Hurley over John Stockton. Stu Douglas over John Stockton. All right, Adiz 411, Lindsey Hunter over John Stockton. There you go.
This is crazy. Come on, man. Don't disrespect John Stockton like that. Although I did choke him one time, but he's still a good player.
Give me that story real quick.
Dude, I think it was my rookie year, and I was guarding him, full court, picking him up, turning him and whatever. And I guess I got too rough with him or whatever. I don't know. I hit him or bumped him or something. and he elbowed me right in the jaw. And my reaction was just to grab him, like,
Yeah.
So they, broke it up, of course, and he respected me after that, though, because he knew
what you got to do. Yeah,
right,
that's what you got to do.
Right.
Was it a good elbow to where your jaw clicks? When you get popped in the mouth, sometimes your jaw.
It was good enough that I was ready to fight.
Yeah. So it turned that switch right away.
Yes.
I like that. Real quick update: the Pistons-Wizards game tonight has been postponed. The Pistons are still grounded in Dallas due to
it's bad.
severe weather that they're having in Dallas. So they had some mechanical issues Monday night after the game, so they were not able to get out of Dallas. So the plane got grounded. They were going to go back, the next morning, but then they had that winter storm that came through Dallas, and it's not like here when we, down there they're not equipped to deal with it.
Everything shuts down in the South.
Right. So,
damn, we need to get that win too. We can beat Washington.
My guy Kendrick Nunn's there now, man. I'm just saying. So, Golden Grizzly in the house, Lindsey Hunter. I'm sorry. Yeah. Kendrick Nunn better than John Stockton. There you go. Yeah. There you go. So
I said Jose Calderon.
Oh,
he had the single season highest free throw percentage in the history of the NBA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul Thomas says Pistol Pete really was better than John Stockton.
I'll agree.
This popped up on social media, and for those of you that don't know, Woodward Tigers. They do a fine job.
They do a fine job.
A very fine job covering the Detroit Tigers. I would say they're one of the best entities at covering the Tigers in this town. And this just popped up, and it was a question. Woodward Tigers said, Tiger fans, you only get one scenario to come true. Which one are you picking? And they gave the 4 scenarios. Number 1 was J.D. Martinez, never traded and re-signed in 2017. The number 2 was Miggy Cabrera, stays healthy from 2017 to 2022. Number 3 was Victor Martinez, doesn't miss the 2012 season. And number 4 was Max Scherzer re-signs in 2015. And for me, this was egregiously easy. To me, it was easy. And I don't get triggered. And I don't, right? Like, Twitter's not even a real place. So it doesn't bother me when people pop on there and take shots or talk ish or anything like that. Because for every person that talks ish, there's 5 people that talk love,
Right,
so whatever.
Right.
I don't care. This is easy. It is Max Scherzer re-signing, period, end of story. And it dovetails, here's my take on it, Lindsey, is they offered him that BS contract offer of 8 years and $144 million, knowing he was never going to take it.
Right.
They put out a press release saying that he declined the contract. Who does that? Nobody does that. And you know how else I knew? A couple months later, he signed with the Washington Nationals at 7 years for $210. So, Lindsey, I ask you as a player, would you take 8 for $144 or 7 for $210? And when you want to break it down, since he's getting 43 this year, it's really 7 for $253.
Right.
Would you turn down $100 million, Lindsey?
Oh, come on, man. No, nobody in their right mind would.
Exactly. How anybody would come to the conclusion that it's anything other than Max Scherzer, where you would have had 2 aces.
Right.
Come on, Lindsey. I'm right here,
No,
right?
You're right.
Okay.
But everybody's going to say Miggy because chicks dig the long ball.
No, and I do too. and I love Miguel Cabrera. But here's the deal, guys. You want to know when the music stopped for the Tigers? The second they offered that contract to Max Scherzer, because it was over.
Yep.
OVA. And it was done. The winning was done. As close as you can get, I guess, to a dynasty without winning a World Series or whatever. The Tigers were a very high-level team for a decade.
Yep.
They were. It was all over the second Max Scherzer left, and that was because of the Tigers. And don't be mad at Scott Boras, and don't be mad at Max Scherzer, because, again, Lindsey, are you taking 7 years, $210 million, or 8 years, $144 million, Lindsey?
Of course.
Which one are you taking, Lindsey? 248?
Look, nobody's mad at him for taking that money. You can't be. You can be.
But that was the flavor that I got from people on social media.
Well, people are in their feelings, and they want our players to be, loyal. Oh, stay home. I remember that this is, basketball talk, but I remember when Allen Houston left for New York. Do you guys remember the deals, the difference in the deals that was offered to him?
Oh yeah.
Do you know Detroit offered him 7 years, $28 million. The Knicks' starting offer was 7 for $45.
Right.
Starting offer. They got all the way up to 54. So, do the math.
Chuck Brewer says, "Be mad at the owner." Period. And Chuck, that's where I am. And I know that we get romantic about Mike Ilitch and things like that. But make no mistake, both things can be true. Did he open up the checkbook after a while? Yeah, he did. But when they didn't even try to sign Max Scherzer, and I'm not letting them get away with that. They didn't try to sign Max Scherzer. Because 8 at 144, when you get 7 at 210, means you didn't try.
Right.
You didn't want him to sign. You weren't trying to sign him, and that was it. It was over right then. And Spenny, people went to bat with me about this, man. They did, trying to blame Scott Boras.
Yeah.
And tell me that, no, if Miggy would have stayed healthy. If Miggy stays healthy, who's going to pitch?
Hey, man.
No one.
Nobody.
No one. Will Herbin says, Neal, did you see the Soto trade? I did, and if you're looking for some kind of hot take from it, no. Let's be real about what Soto was. Let's be real about it.
Yeah, the best part of it was at the trade deadline last year, there were reports that Detroit was asking for a package for Gregory Soto similar to a prime Uroldis Chapman.
Which is laughable.
Yeah, I'm like, God, so happy if he was gone.
And you know what? This all goes circular too. Right back to it. Because we're in for some pain. As Tiger fans, Lindsey, I'm sorry to report to you, it's going to be grim. And you have one person to blame for that. One.
Good old Al.
Al Avila. And I don't care that, he was a good employee or I don't care about any of that. The baseball team's destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
It's destroyed. And now we have to destroy the reclamation from when it was destroyed the first time.
Unless we get lucky. Like I said, I follow the Tigers international prospects, and I saw it was 2 weeks ago. 4 days in a row, they're posting 2 a day. 17-year-old from Venezuela, 16-year-old from Cuba. I was like, oh, one of them. We just need an Alves. We need an Acuna. We need a Tatis. That's what happens. That's what Scott Harris is trying to do, and that's what you have to do to be good in the MLB. So you have to get a Tatis on a deal where you're paying him $2 million for 4 years.
Right. And that's where it is. And Will says, I think it'll go faster than people think. We're dropping the Miggy contract after this. And I don't care about that, because you can just decide that doesn't exist to you in baseball. It's a choice. It's a choice to win. It's a choice to go out and sign people. It's a choice.
Absolutely. And like you said, you have to be willing to retain your stars. When you have somebody that's bona fide that you know is going to help you with W's, you gotta do it, and you gotta open that checkbook up. That's just the only way to do it. There's no other way, unless you draft and get lucky with some guys. And but baseball is a process. It's a process, especially with young guys. I remember going out to Arizona, I went to Cleveland, the Cleveland Indians little
facility out there in Arizona, yeah.
And
Cactus League.
I was shocked how young all of the guys were, and I just sat, I watched them work out and go through all their stuff, and I was like, how old? They were like, oh man, they're babies. And
17.
Yeah,
some are 16.
Man,
yeah.
They were young, and even the GM at the time was like, we don't do as good of a job as we should developing these young guys into, we may get one out of all these guys, they may get one that's a stud.
Right.
I'm like, wow, it's crazy.
And then they trade him to the Yankees.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. David Gerald says Al Avila is definitely to be blamed, but the owner is ultimately responsible for sitting there watching it happen, or worse, telling Avila to cut payroll. And David, yes, and that was something I opined about forever. And you guys know that Al Avila, and look, I believe it to be right or wrong, he was the main target for me. You guys know. You want to get me triggered, you talk about Al Avila or John Stockton.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Ilitch doesn't avoid blame in this situation.
No, certainly not.
But Al was a big reason. It's not just we're not signing anybody, we don't have the money. That's one thing, but the trades and the returns that Al was getting destroyed.
And that was the
team.
problem. And guys, remember that this year when it's not interesting on like May 3rd, May 4th, or whatever, and they're already like 8 games back of 5 teams, and it's over, and you know it's over. Remember that the man that was in charge of taking this thing apart failed epically.
Yeah.
Epically, across the board. Like, there's not a good move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not a good move. Because everybody he I they've been shuttled out of here.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? I want people to remember that. How big of a failure the Al Avila regime was. Remember that this summer.
Hey, we got Jake Rogers.
That one doesn't trigger me, though. You know, like it doesn't.
Yeah,
no.
That's more on ownership than it was Avila, because if they would have taken more of Verlander's contract, they would have got better prospects.
They would have got better prospects.
Yeah.
Even the trades. And look, Avila's the one that mix-mastered them and everything like that, but even ownership, too.
Yeah.
You take out more of the salary, you get better prospects. And they wanted the easy way out, so they got the easy way out. Is it easy now, guys? Is it looking really easy right now? It doesn't. Real quick, Robert Colosia, fun fact. And this is sobering, too. The top projected player this year for the Detroit Tigers is Riley Green with a 3.1 projected WAR. This is significantly lower than 90% of the league. This will be another bad year. So all the analytics people, get ready.
I think Javi bounces back. I do.
In terms of, like, you think he'll bounce back, like, not swing and miss at 50% of the sliders thrown to him? So he'll only swing and miss at, what, 40% of them?
30. He'll have a bounce back Javi year. He'll have 30 home runs. He won't look embarrassing getting struck out on those pitches for the entire season. Because with Javi, it comes in stretches. So you're going to get a week of bad baseball and then 2 weeks of great baseball. But
all right, you guys, I got mocked and scorned on opening day. You were up there chugging a bottle of champagne, living your best life, and the people were coming at me saying, why are you such a downer, Neal? I'm like, because I don't buy Javi Baez.
Yeah.
Who was right?
I had a great time on opening day.
I know you did. I had a great time this morning at Planet Fitness, the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports and home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out for just $10 a month. Upgrade to the Black Card. You get unlimited guest privileges, hydro massage, access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the world, and more. Join today in club. You'll pass a couple on the way home. Or log on to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Back at it, coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Lindsey Hunter, my guy here in the house all week for D-Mac Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. Some reaction to the Tigers discussion. Let's go Red Wings, Sparty. Not one player is a starter from all those trades for all the top talent we had, except Neal's boy, Matthew Boyd. I know that they gave $10 million. And look, I am reasonable. Lindsey, I get fired up,
yes, you do.
As you can see, but I am reasonable. I understand how the real world works. Scott Harris, Matt Boyd was his guy.
Yeah.
Like, he was kind of his reclamation project. I just don't understand the $10 million thing. I don't know where that came from. But, you know, whatever. They're not going to spend any money anyway.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. I don't care about the money in baseball because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It only matters to you.
Mm-hmm.
It only matters to the owner. So that is it. Lindsey, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren will compete in the Rising Stars Challenge. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's a good for both of them to be around that environment, see how the real guys work. Maybe it'll, they'll open their eyes up a little bit.
Yeah. Is that true though, Lindsey? Is that just cliche stuff for real?
No.
Like, how does that work? How do you pick some? Do you ever go to like the All-Star Weekend?
No, not now. Never. It's too crowded.
Yeah.
No, but when you're around those guys, man, you learn different things, And as a young guy especially, that's great for them, be in that environment just to see, how much and you never know who they know or who they may be associated with and hang out with and just pick their brains and just learn some stuff. And these guys got a bright future ahead of them, both of them, but there's a lot of work to be done,
LeBron is going to break the scoring record coming up here in pretty short order, probably 2, no more than 3.
What is he, 80 points away?
Something like that,
87.
Yeah. 87 it is. So
away.
probably about 3 games.
Right.
I noticed how he sat out the one game on the road so he can do it at home, which is which is kind of cool, I guess. I want to know how people feel about it. And WoodwardSports.com chat poll, re-signing Mad Max was the choice of the people, 62%.
I'm surprised re-signing JD is only 6%, because that was my second option. That would have been my second choice. After Mad Max would have been JD Martinez.
Yeah, I would have leaned towards V-Mart in 2012 just because of like everything that they were there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, could that have been the difference? I don't know. But that's why. Like, once the end of the JD thing was here, it was over anyway.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it is with me.
I just love JD.
I want to, and look, they're firing away already. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Do you like LeBron James?
Yes or no?
Yes, yeah. I know. I just want to know. I want the temperature of the room. Because he's going to break the scoring record for the NBA. Lindsey, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And we talked about Brady earlier.
Right.
Guys that dedicated their life to playing, i.e. their body. Nobody spends more on their body than LeBron James does.
LeBron. He does.
And as Spenmo said, the chosen one, Sports Illustrated, a 17-year-old kid, and delivered all of it and more.
Right.
The scholarships to kids in Akron to go to school. Does everything the right way. Right? You can say, the decision soured some people and stuff like that. No one talks about the fact that Kids Club, got $3 million in revenue from having it there.
No one cared about that.
No one cared about that, right? But he does everything the right way. Why, Lindsey? Why is he viewed? Because I'm curious to see where this poll ends up.
I think
67% of the people say no, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Help me, Lindsey.
He's he's been vilified for minor hiccups. I think I remember when a lot of people were like, I'm done with him. I think they lost in the finals, and remember he said, you guys got to go back home to your regular jobs and be regular people, and I get to enjoy my wonderful life. People, that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and how public perception, people aren't that forgiving, especially of us athletes. I understand. It's just not that way. And then the Miami thing, and it's just that stuff means nothing to me. I could care less. But people care about that stuff, and that's why I think they're kind of vilified by it.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Clomp Sauce says, all and more, no way. What didn't he do? He's going to break the NBA scoring record. That is the chosen one.
And be top 5 in assists and rebounds.
He's number 4 right now in assists.
Yeah.
And that amazes me even more than the point thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about how many points is this guy responsible for on an NBA
finals,
floor?
8 years in a row?
8 consecutive years.
Yep.
8 years in a row making the NBA Finals. What that does to a man's body playing that much basketball.
Yeah,
and did the Olympics.
He spends like $2 million on his body every year, so he's like a robot. He can handle it.
Yeah, and Robert Colosi says, I noticed seeing him live in December, LeBron is remarkably bigger than most dudes on the court, and wide and thick. It's like a video game. You notice this also, Spenny. And yeah, like
it's different.
He's a different dude than everybody else out there.
I got the chance, thanks to Chad Johnson, to sit courtside to see the Lakers play the Pistons this year, and it's different. Like, I've seen LeBron play in Detroit multiple times, but it's different to see him now at the age he is, still the size he is, still, like me and Easy said, Killian was taking the ball down the court, and we saw LeBron just locked in on him, just locked. I was like, dude, this is different. The guy is different. I still think he's the second best player of all time, but he's arguably the greatest player of all time.
And that's where I am. Like, I can't kill you, if you got Jordan over him. Yeah. I can't. Obviously, that depends on what you're shopping for. I'm of the opinion that, and people are talking about this too, Lindsey, where I'll ask you, a man who played the game, would he translate in any era of basketball?
Of course.
1,000%.
Of course. You have
your team was good defensively, Lindsey. You were a good defender.
Mm-hmm.
He would still get buckets, right?
Yeah, he's a transcendent. There are certain guys that transcend time, and Michael, Jordan, those are guys that doesn't matter. You can stick them anywhere. I just think that the thing that and I love Bron. I love Bron because he plays the right way. He does, on the court. You can actually show kids offensively, hey, he makes the right basketball play, and I think that means a lot.
And that's it too, Lindsey. Because I don't understand the universal hate for the guy. I don't. Like, if you want to get caught up in the words and get caught up in the feelings and stuff like that,
that's what people do.
Between those, it's like I was talking about Kyrie. Yeah. Like watching Kyrie play, calling one of his games. He's a crazy dude or whatever, has crazy takes. Between those four lines, there's no debate.
Right.
And for LeBron, I don't get it, and I never will. And Mike G says he broke the scoring record in the modern game. He didn't have to do it during the Bad Boys and the Knicks. Asterisk stats for LeBron. I think that's a little aggressive.
Well, people are always going to say era means something because rules were different and all this, and we know that the numbers today are inflated.
Mm-hmm.
They're inflated. I mean. But that's your time.
When you guys won the championship with the Pistons, he was playing then.
Yeah, but even in that era, it was different. We were just a slow down, methodical type of team, and we made you play that style. San Antonio was the same, similar, methodical. They could play through the post and do different things like that. But. It's just different eras, man. It's just he's played through a couple of eras, and because he's so great, he's benefited from it. And I'm not knocking him because I respect the fact that what he's doing is, it's remarkable. And I respect his greatness, and we're gonna miss him just like we're missing Tom Brady. We're gonna miss LeBron when he's gone.
100%.
Yeah, and I do. I don't get it. Detroit Germ says crazy that LeBron could have developed his game even more, but doesn't. That guy, Bron, doesn't miss workout. Like all the Kobe stuff you see on Instagram, that's Bron too.
Yeah, well, he got it from Kobe.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, yeah.
And how he changed his game through the different eras and what they needed.
He played when Lindsey won the chip and the Pistons were out there and like the going to work Pistons and 74-65 era. He played in that era too. He scored points in that era. He scored 25 a game in that era.
And I'll still say the scariest LeBron, my favorite LeBron was Miami LeBron. When he was 6'9", 280 pounds, running point guard and playing center. I was like, dude, this is scary. The year after they lost to the Mavericks, that LeBron is one of the scariest basketball players I've ever seen in my entire life. He was on a mission.
Right.
And they had the all-black Miami Heat uniforms, and he had the full beard, and he was a locomotive. It was so sick.
Real quick before we get to the break, I know we're late for the break here. Clompsaw says he wouldn't have had half the success against the Bad Boys. Just like Jordan didn't have Jordan didn't have half the success against the Bad Boys.
Well, here's the thing, man. People are gonna stick to their era, and I'm okay with that. I don't care. I listen to people say
he's talking theory. I'm talking fact. The Pistons put Jordan in his place till time ran its course.
Right. Well, they all had to grow and learn.
Sure.
Nobody instantly just came into this league and said, "Oh, I'm going from 1 to 100 automatically." You have to have they have to grow. It's just a process. You know, they all went through it.
Yeah. So WoodwardSports.com chat poll, do you like LeBron James? 62% of the people say no. But I know if you had a big project going on, I know 100% of the people, I know what company they would like.
100% of the people, if you got a big project going on, you just got to go to Alta, because at Alta, uptime, it really matters. And Alta Engineering has all the equipment you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA, because at Alta Equipment, uptime, it matters.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at FoalingWarehouse.com.
Abbreviated final segment of the show. Hey, got a question for Lindsey Hunter? Fire away. We can't even get to them all the time. I'm sorry that I cheated you guys out a little bit of that time. I'll try to make it up for you guys tomorrow. But yeah, real quickly, if you got some in there, drop them in there. I'm shocked, man. Detroit Germ. Braun is great, but he's a crybaby, and that's fair. Like what he did on that floor in Boston was not necessary.
That was
That was a little extra.
But he was definitely fouled, though.
Well, this idea, though, that Michael Jordan never whined ever, that's just narrative. That's narrative.
I agree with that. But I will say, that was a bad look, laying on the floor.
Right. WoodwardSports.com chat. Will wants to know, Lindsey, how's Caleb doing these days?
Doing good, man. He's somewhere. He's Texas or somewhere right now. He's doing good.
Let me see what else we got here. And again, ask Lindsey, get it all in there, and whatever you guys want to know from Lindsey Hunter, he's open about it. Mike G says MJ's the greatest player ever. We'll never see a player like that again in the time that he did it. And look, I can't crush you on it.
We did though. Kobe.
No. Not even close.
Kobe.
Thank you, Lindsey.
Not even close.
Thank you, Lindsey.
I love Kobe.
It was MJ Jr.
It's not even close.
RC Cola, MJ.
RC Cola, MJ.
No, Jordan just had a mystical athleticism that was crazy. Like, think about like athlete Zach LaVine with all Kobe's fundamental. I mean,
number 8 Kobe was a freak.
Yeah, but not MJ. Come on, man.
He gave you the double look right there, man. So that's a wrap. Here's a good one. Let's go Red Wings Sparty. Not sure if you covered this already, but Lindsey, what's your stance on players' rest and load management these days?
Man, it seems like the more technology we get, the softer we get. Like, these guys have everything. They have
heart monitors.
Everything. They have sleep therapists.
Right.
I wish I had a sleep therapist.
But my point is, we have access to every type of device or whatever, and we still we get hurt more often. We take games off, and I think I was reading something the other day about durability, and it was talking about your favorite guy, John Stockton, how many years straight he played 82 games, and plus playoffs. And they did the same thing with Michael. I think Michael had 8 years where he played no less than 81 games. And that's with the finals.
And that's getting your ass whooped in all those games, too.
Right. So to see these younger guys with all this technology, it's like, okay, what are we doing wrong? Because part of the challenge of an NBA season, I hear people all the time, cut the season to 60 games. No, part of the challenge is to get through the 82 and to persevere through the finals. That's part of the challenge, right?
Yeah. No, it is. It's part of it. It's part of it. It's like the game of soccer, how they're changing the substitution rules. No, you get 3 subs. That's part of it. You got to decide what runs you make. In the 60th minute, do I really want to make this run after the ball? Because I'm going to need that in the 90th minute.
Right.
You got to. Real quick, we'll leave it with this, and tomorrow we'll do an expanded one with Ask Lindsey because it is popular with the people. So, Rack says, not a question, but I remember playing pickup games against Lindsey at Basketball Planet in Canton and got firsthand experience how much better pros are than the average guy. He was always super cool too. So there's that. Yeah. You used to just play against regular old people, huh?
Yeah.
You give him that work?
Of course.
All right, that'll do it. I love it. That's a good walk-off. For Lindsey Hunter, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping into Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.